Because the triggers, the teams, the budgets, the leaders, the stakeholders, focus areas, audiences can differ between the two strategies, it is common for them to be handled separately, but that separate approach can result in some challenges. So the first one being that it can be a missed opportunity to leverage more holistic learning. So pursuing them separately doesn't give you the deeper insights that can come from that combined approach. And that can result in missing things such as brand intelligence that the UX team might uncover, or user issues that don't get uncovered during brand strategy research, but that end up being incredibly critical to being able to drive brand perception and lead to increased conversions in business. Second, the data and insights that are uncovered during the research phases of each strategy may just remain only with the team that was directly involved and not shared again for the benefit of others across the company. And of course, the more information that can be shared organization wide, the better chances your organization has of achieving its overall goals and objectives. And that lack of information sharing can then, of course, lead to a subsequent lack of being able to take action on those learnings. And that can result in a less than optimal user or customer experience. So, for example, if you rebrand to position your organization on convenience, but your website lags, the UX research lags, and you don't offer online scheduling, let's say, if you're a healthcare provider, or you're a manufacturer with a product catalog, but users can't easily compare products. So if you're positioning on convenience and your website isn't caught up, you kind of already negated your position just by having an inconvenient website. And that creates friction and disconnect for both your customers and prospects. And then following along with kind of lack of information sharing is just inconsistent messaging. So this can also happen, when brand strategy is done separately from UX strategy, particularly if you're pursuing an organizational rebrand. So you really want your new website to be consistent with your rebrand immediately upon launch. But if your UX research is done later, digital changes are made later, you really missed an opportunity to relay your brand message, most effectively and support your new brand position, your voice, and your personality. So when that UX research comes later, it can just create an immediate disconnect for the user where the messaging and again, that overall experience can lag or even be at odds with your new brand strategy. And last but certainly not least, of course, is pursuing UX and brand strategies separately can end up just costing you more money. And that's because both strategies really rely heavily on research. And often you will need to talk to some of the same people for each. So talking to them once, of course, is just more efficient and cost effective than doing so twice. And we know also that survey and focus group fatigue is a real thing. So if you can just touch people once and ask them for their time once, you'll have a better chance of getting them engaged in the process.